So my journey first started back in 2011. My dad found a mole on his stomach that was a bit suspicious. He went to the GP and he had it taken off. It did confirm to come back as melanoma skin cancer. And then he got the all clear, had a lymph node check, which was, I believe, on his left leg. That came back all clear. And then he just got on with life. He was checked every 3 months for around about 2 years to 3 years. And then, unfortunately, in June 2015, he started to experience really bad headaches. So he started to worry about that, and he went to the GP, and they basically sent him up the A&E straight away, and they confirmed there and then that it'd come back as a brain tumor. So it was the melanoma had returned as a 3.5 centimeter brain tumor on the right side of his brain. From then, really, it didn't go too well for my dad. Unfortunately, as melanoma is, it's very aggressive. So he couldn't really catch a break after that. It just kept spreading and spreading. And unfortunately, he lost his life in 2015 in November. He was only 59, so it's really, really young. And then after that, that's where I kind of started to check my moles, because I was like, hang on a minute, I'm quite moly. My dad was quite moly. I'm fair skinned, blue eyed, blonde hair. So I was like, I'm going to start looking at them and keeping an eye on them. Never in a million years did I think that I would come across anything. I just thought I'd check anyway. So 2018, I found one on my leg. It rung alarm bells with me because it was quite scabby. It was quite dark. It become itchy, but it was actually quite scabby as well. So straight away, I was just like, that doesn't look right. So I'm going to go get it checked just to be careful. And then I went to GP. She referred me over straight away because of my family history and stuff. So I was like, great. Again, not really thinking much of it. I just thought I'll go and get it checked by a dermatologist. He then basically just said, yep, we're going to have it taken off like straight away. I got referred very quickly. And I think I waited quite long for the first results to come back. It was over Christmas period. I think it took a good 5 weeks, which was horrendous, obviously waiting for that. But it did come back as stage 1 melanoma. He said it was borderline. So he did say you have caught it very early. But, moving forward, we'll do a wider excision, and then you can, have your 3 monthly checks, and hopefully you'll never have any more. I got on with life, and that was it. Lockdown hit. And then I unfortunately come across another mole. In between that, I'd been having mole mapping done. So I was really obviously keeping on top of my moles with the mole mapping. Took a lot of anxiety away from having, because I can never keep up with my moles. I have so many of them. So I was just like, I'm not going to be able to keep up with them. So that's where the mole mapping came in. And I checked a previous picture from the mole mapping and then rechecked it with my own pictures, and I realised that it had actually changed. So because of lockdown, I was like, ring the GP, but you wasn't able to see them. So I had to send a photo. When I sent the photo over, they referred me straight away. Within a week, I was back in my dermatologist's office. They had it removed within 2 days, and then it came back again as melanoma in situ. So I've been really lucky in the sense of I caught both of them very early, but obviously moving forward now, I'm extremely vigilant about my moles, and also very sun aware, sun safe. I wear factor 50, 30 and 50 almost every single day. I'm a driving instructor, so I am out in my car all day long. So I always nagging my pupils to put their sun cream on, and as well as me putting it on, too early. So yeah, a lot different to what I was about 10 years ago. I'm a lot more sun safe now, and that's basically just the whole story, really. So if you've been affected by melanoma, I think anyone who I've worked with over the last, say, 7 or 8 years, who I've formed a lovely community of melanoma patients and people that have been affected by it. But just keep pushing forward. I think that melanoma awareness is so important. It's just not spoke about enough. I don't think it's out there enough. I don't think we are aware of it enough. I think that you see everywhere you go, there's obviously other cancers that are being spoke about a lot more: breast cancers, prostate cancer, everything else. But there's never anything about skin, and I feel like it's up to us to push it out there and to make sure that people are really aware of it's actually really dangerous. Like, when you think about melanoma, people think, oh, you just have it cut out and you're all fine. But the aftermath of what melanoma can cause if you don't catch it very early is is heartbreaking, and that's
Mhm.
unfortunately what I've experienced with my dad. So it's a case of getting it early, but also knowing how to be sun safe as well. I don't think a lot of people understand the dangers, one, about the sunbeds as well. Obviously, people are very much still using them. It's still advertised. I still don't understand why that is so. It just infuriates me, but that's another story. But as well as people being a bit more aware of how often they use sun cream, when they should apply. There's just not enough. There's not enough out there to be spoken about, and I think that's where people like myself who advocate for it will literally be pushing the message. And yeah, I think it's really important to keep doing it. Yeah. It's just really sad actually, because the obviously the cases of skin cancer are actually increasing, and I don't understand how something can increase but yet the awareness is still not there. It
Mhm.
actually, it's so scary that, like, if that was another cancer, I feel like everyone else would be a bit more aware about it, and you'd see it more on TV, you'd see it more on social media. But at the moment, like, most people that come to me through my social media only come to me through, like, they've seen my TikToks, because a lot of my TikToks have reached a lot of people, which is fantastic. But before they come across my TikToks, they had no idea what it was. And I
Okay.
find that,
Yeah.
like, they're relying on people like myself who don't have a professional background in any type of dermatology or anything. They're just relying on myself to advocate. So, that's really scary, isn't it? That I'm not even a professional, but yet they're relying on me for information. It's wrong. Yeah, it's really wrong. So I started, when I was first diagnosed, I started every 6 months, because obviously that's what they recommended, because they just wanted to monitor them because of the second one as well. Obviously, that was quite soon after the first one. And now I think last year I went to yearly checks, so I'm on yearly checks now. I literally just had one the other day. It came back hopefully all fine. I'll get the results in about the next 10 days or so. How did I find one? So again, another thing that's really bad here in the UK is we don't have enough people that are doing the mole mapping. I had to Google it and find someone private. I understand that some people can't afford to go private. I am in a situation where, I can afford that, so I am lucky in that sense. But it should be available on the NHS, which it's not. But some areas it is, and some areas it's not. In my area, it's not. So I was forced to go private. So yeah. To be honest with you, I absolutely love it, because coming from a melanoma patient and the anxiety that it brings afterwards, it brings me so much peace knowing that all my moles are being looked at and monitored. There is no way I would be able to look, because most of my moles are on my back. There is no way that I would be able to keep up to date with any changes without that machine. And it brings a lot of peace, and takes away a lot of anxiety out throughout this journey, because there's enough going on emotionally attached to this journey that you don't need to add to it. And I feel that the machine definitely brings in the calmness and, like, the kind of the less anxiety attached to it. Yeah. I think it's vital, absolutely, completely vital that you get them checked, because it still amazes me now how that, when they look at the mole and then they put the magnifying on it, and it magnifies up to 20, I think it's 20 times, isn't it? It's incredible that obviously they can go that detailed into it, because to the naked eye you wouldn't be able to see that. So it's vital and so important that you can check them through that machine, because I believe that that will be the key to finding them a very early stage. Yeah. Yeah, so I've had quite a few moles removed. Most of them the machine has picked up, and luckily enough, they've all been benign, but they've had signs of melanoma. So I've been able to catch them very early. I think in total I've had 10 moles removed altogether over the last 4 years. Two of them obviously were melanoma, but the other 8 were detected and taken off because they did show signs, but thankfully enough they come back benign. So yeah, it's again very important to have it checked. And I feel like my skin now, I check it all the time. I'm always on it, which is good. Yeah. The best advice I would give to anyone that's looking at their skin and thinking, what do I do and how do I check them? My personal opinion would be to take photos. I think it's really important. I retake my photos every 3 months. Even alongside my mole mapping, I will still continue to take my photos because it is complete reassurance from myself. I get my husband to take them, so I get someone else to take them, obviously, especially from the back. And then, yeah, I just make sure that obviously if I see any changes, I go straight back to my dermatologist. And they're pretty good, obviously, with my history and stuff. So I do get seen pretty quickly now. But yeah. My only message would be to make sure that you get a skin check yearly, stay on top of the mole checks, and if you have any problems or any worries, just go straight to your dermatologist. Please don't be scared to go and see a GP. There are many people out there that feel that they're wasting the GP's time or a dermatologist's time. You are not. It will definitely 100% save your life if you have any worries. Yeah.